Bang, bang, ladies and gentlemen, bang, thank you for tuning in. You are now listening to the Take It to the Bank podcast, the number one sports podcast. Go! Take it to the bank, take it to the bank, take it to the bank, take it to the bank. Matt coming with the facts, Frac coming with the facts, number one podcast, ain't no debate about that.
And welcome back to your favorite podcast, Take It to the Bank. I am your host, Matthew King, and here with me, with the sweet bandana on, I'm digging it, Ryan Fraccaroli. Ryan, how's school going? How are you?
Oh, the school's going good. I actually got 100 on my first test. So,
Bang?
yeah, bang, right now we're rocking with that 4.0. So, you did.
Well, I want to show a little bit of my style today and shout out Barstool Sports for sending me this nice shirt right here. It says Action Jackson, and it says not bad for a running back. So shout out to Barstool Banks, who I follow on Twitter. Really cool guy. He's like the Ravens Barstool guy, so go give him a follow if you're a Ravens fan. And so a lot happened this past weekend. A lot of teams went to 0-3. A lot of teams went to 1-2. Not a lot went to 3-0. And some obviously went to 2-1, but there was more 0-3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your team first. I want to talk about the Eagles. They're in a hole right now. They're 1-2. They lost to the Detroit Lions. And how are you feeling? Just first off, how are you feeling about this? I know there's a lot of injuries, but in general, how are you feeling about the Eagles' chances right now?
So, with the Eagles, it's very complicated right now. I have a ton of mixed emotions about it because if we think about this in the grand scheme of things, we are 2 catches away from being 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
2 catches. And then we had Aguilar that dropped it. Then we had Whiteside that dropped it. And Goddard, too. Goddard in the same game as Detroit dropped it. So, and that's catches that you need to make. And so I know we have talent still. We still have talent. Because look at, Detroit's a better team than people think they are.
They are. Honestly, they are.
I'll
They're
say
a good
that.
team.
They're a very good team. And they might have a chance of slipping into the wild card. I don't know. But the Lions, they need to get more credit than do. I think a lot of people are overlooking them. But, they have a really good team. They have a really good quarterback in Matthew Stafford, obviously. Good weapons in Marvin Jones and Galladay and all that, and T.J. Hawkinson. And then on the defensive side, they have probably one of the best cornerbacks in the game with Darius Slay. The defense is ramped up, and they look pretty good as well against us. I think what needs to happen is the wide receivers just need to go out onto the field 24 hours for the next 4 days, just catching freaking balls. And
so are you volunteering to be the one for the Eagles to throw them the ball?
No, my arm's crap. Man, I can't even lift my arm up that high. So
now the honest question is, I think me and you could do a better job at wide receiver than what Nelson Aguilar and JJ Arcega-Whiteside has done in the past couple weeks, if we're all honesty. And
I think my grandmother would do better.
So thoughts on going? I heard the Eagles were having a tryout for wide receivers this weekend. Saturday before the game, they said you get to play, and I think I might take the opportunity. I might
go to. The white boy. They don't really have a white wide receiver.
We'd have a light skin connection. We'd be the greatest 1-2 punch ever.
Exactly, dude. It would be over. The NFL would not be ready for my 4.4 speed out here.
4.4. I have that on record that Ryan Fraccaroli runs a 4.4 40.
Yeah, don't ask my coaches though. But anyway, our pass rushing is a big issue. Our pass rushing needs to get better. Our secondary, more injuries again with Darby going out. So right now we only have Sidney Jones, Douglas, Vontae Maddox. They're young, they're going to make mistakes, but they need to play better. They need to step up to the plate. Our linebacking play has actually been somewhat solid. I'm not really too, and our safeties have been balling out. Jenkins and McLeod have been freaking balling out. You can't ask for better games out of both of them. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, catching obviously, Sanders needs to. I think if he gets more reps in, he's going to be better. But I mean, the fumble really killed us there. The pass. One thing I don't get is the offensive pass interference. I think we had a big problem with that in this game. Sproles got one, Ertz got one, Whiteside got one. I think that was the only third, but still.
Yeah, I rewatched the game, and that was not good.
Exactly, like and Sproles, why you're too small? Why? What the? Why?
Why?
Why? Why? Like
Help!
Come on, man. It's
Oh,
just
God.
man. I don't know, dude. It's like is Jeremy Macklin still out there?
Oh God, stop! Stop!
I think
Jeremy
Jordan Matthews.
Macklin is the devil.
I think Jordan Matthews is still a free agent. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know why we haven't brought in Jordan Matthews back.
Hold up. Jeremy Macklin is the devil in Baltimore. I never want to hear that name ever again. So I'm not a big fan of Jeremy Macklin.
But for real, I don't know why we're not bringing in any of our receivers. I really don't. Like a speed guy at least. Like I just it's really confusing for me just because, yeah, we have big guys that can possess and catch. But with Deshaun Jackson being out still, we don't have that speed guy. But luckily, Jeffries is going to come back, so that's going to help us a lot. But, I mean, this Packer, I mean, man, I don't know. I think also that needs to be a factor is the Cowboys, that they really – like, the Cowboys are a good team, obviously, but –
They're a better team. They're an absolute better team.
Yeah, right now, yeah. How
I think even without injuries, they're –
I don't know about – I mean –
But let's not talk – hold on. Let's not talk about the Cowboys just yet. But from my perspective – I rewatched it. I bought NFL Game Pass. I was telling Frac before, and I was watching game film on the Eagles, and because I was interested because I didn't get to watch the game, and there's a lot of issues, particularly like he said with the wide receiving group. Obviously, they have injuries, but you drafted J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and was hoping for some upside. I don't see any upside from this guy. He can't get open. He has problems getting separation. He has problems.
But this is also his first game.
Of course,
this is also his first game, and he's a project. That's why we picked him. He's going to be the guy that's going to be filling up Jeffrey's role in 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's going to have some problems, and he's going against a solid secondary out of Detroit. So
I think he'll be okay. It's just for this game.
He has upside. He definitely does. I mean, obviously, if he didn't drop that catch, he would be one that everybody would be like, oh my God, he's going to be so good. I mean, players are going to miss catches. We're not saying that Jeffries is terrible because he dropped the pass in New Orleans, you know. So I mean, it's just that Whiteside just needs to grow, and he's young. He's a rookie. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't know if you can say young. That he doesn't have upside. This is his first. That was his first game.
I just don't. A project at wide receiver is hard to come over. I'm not a fan of project wide receivers because I've seen it firsthand. They never work. It's really hard to get them to work. The only team that's done it really well is the Patriots and the Steelers. They've done well at drafting receivers late and turning their project receivers into good receivers. But anyway, the Eagles, they have injuries on the D line. I noticed that. In the film that I was watching, they're not getting any pressure on Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford had plenty of time to get the ball out. He was getting the ball out quick, and the wide receivers. Detroit's a good team, especially on offense. I mean, they have weapons all over the field now, especially with T.J. Hawkinson. They still have Marvin Jones and their running back, who I can't think of.
Kerryon
Johnson. So I don't think the Eagles season's lost yet. Let's not get that confused. I was looking at the Eagles schedule coming up over the next couple weeks. They have the Packers on Thursday night. They have the Jets. So now we're getting to the easier part of the schedule. They start off pretty bad, but they have the Jets, and then they have the Vikings, who they've historically had. They have been their dads for the past couple of years. And maybe by then your wide receivers are going to be healthy. Everybody's going to be healthy in the next 2 weeks.
Jeffrey should be back next week. Deshaun Jackson should be back for the Jets game.
The week after.
And then on the
you have the
side,
and
Sheridan should be back. Jurgen should be back.
And then you have the Cowboys, which is tough. Um, I don't know. We'll talk about this later. I still like Dallas, but just for this particular game, the Eagles just need to get healthy. Just plain and simple. I think that's the issue, and I'd like to see them get healthy to see their full potential. Now, let's move on so we can get our teams out of the way. I want to talk about the Ravens. The hype train, Lamar Jackson kind of slowed down this past weekend after
Did he though? Did he though? Like he still had a very solid game against an underrated Chiefs defense. For real. I mean,
okay.
I think he's still. I mean, no one has said anything bad about Lamar Jackson after this game.
No, absolutely not. No.
I mean, he had a good. I don't know if the hype train has slowed down. If anything, it's kind of stayed at the same pace after the Arizona game.
The only issue that I had with Lamar Jackson is that first half was really bad. He only had 75 yards passing. He missed a lot of deep throws.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and watched film on the game, and Mark Ingram. What the hell can we say about him? He has been a tank. He looks like he's 23 years old. I mean, this guy is ready to roll. He had 3 touchdowns, 16 carries, 103 yards. That's 6.4 yards per carry. But I mean,
Gus Edwards didn't look bad either.
Yeah, he would have had 100 yards if that 45-yard run wouldn't have came back. I don't think the Ravens look bad. I think they showed a lot of heart. But one thing I do want to talk about on the Ravens side, now I want to talk about the Chiefs, is John Harbaugh. He made some questionable, really, really questionable calls on Sunday. He went for 2. 3 out of the 4 times they scored a touchdown. He went for it on fourth down 2 times in his own side of the field, on the Ravens side of the field. And he's calling it the analytics. I like the aggressiveness with the 4th downs, but I'm not sure about the 2-point conversions. How do you feel about the analytics stuff?
It's stupid. plain out stupid. I mean, I know the Eagles do it as well. But, I mean, I just think, it's common sense there. But, I mean, it's just like, okay, we're in this. Then one of your 2-point conversion was in the second quarter, right?
One of our 2-point conversions came after the first touchdown. We were up 6-0.
Exactly. Why don't you just kick the extra point there? It's fine. You know you're going to be in a shootout with him. That's no problem. Like with Mahomes, you're going to be in a shootout, and that's cool. And you just have to realize that. But also, you have to get points where you can get points. Because imagine if they hit on 4 of the extra points.
Whoa, hold on. If they hit all 3 extra points, that's 2. The score at 28, 29, 30, 31. They still lose 33-31. You go for 2 and you get it each time, they win 34-33.
Exactly, but let's look at this though. 33-31 sounds a lot better than 33 to 28. It shows a lot closer game, and I mean you have the best kicker. And imagine if they just drove down there. Just get one more drive in them, and then Justin Tucker, game-winning field goal. That's the game. That's the thing. Like, I mean, we can talk about all possibilities, but it's just that Jim Harbaugh did not. He just, I don't know.
I totally agree with you. I don't like the 2-point conversion stuff. I think that it's kind of dumb in a sense. Like I'm more of a get your points, take your points. They're giving you points, you take them. And also, if the Ravens would have kicked the field goals, they would have been within 3 the last couple minutes of the game, and they wouldn't have had to. If they did get the ball back, hypothetically, all they would need to do is get a field goal to go into overtime. I'm more of a play for overtime kind of guy, not play for the win unless you absolutely need it. I'm more of let's reset and let's go into overtime and put our bets there. But going for it on your own side of the field, this is interesting. Do you think John Harbaugh doesn't trust his Ravens defense? They gave up 530 yards of offense because going for it just shows that, like, okay, well, our defense ain't going to stop him anyway. So
he doesn't trust his secondary. He doesn't trust his cornerbacks at all, and that's obvious there. I mean,
I agree.
I mean, you have one of the best pass rushers out there with Matt Judon, and then you have
he's underrated.
Yeah, okay. You want to talk about underrated? So Zach Bennett,
Oh,
Barnett,
Shaq Barnett, he's been an animal.
8 sacks, and then all the pressure, all the quarterback hits he had was 8. All
Yeah.
the time he hit the quarterback, it's a freaking sack.
Yeah.
This is an amazing
He's
year
an
out of
animal.
him already.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back on to the Ravens. I mean, they just didn't trust their quarterbacks. I mean, they have 2 of the best safeties in the game. I mean, you have Matt Judon, who's been looking really good. I feel like they just don't trust their cornerbacks and their linebackers.
So the question now, Jimmy Smith's hurt. Obviously, he's going to come back. That's going to totally change the defense, I think. A lot of people hate on Jimmy Smith. You're going to stop hating on Jimmy Smith now.
Yeah.
One thing, though, do the Ravens try to go after one more time? Because there was rumors that they tried to trade Hurst the first and a second. Do the Ravens try to go after Ramsey one more time? Do they need Jalen Ramsey?
See, I think, yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, the Ravens can use Ramsey. Anybody can use Ramsey. Ramsey's that kind of player. But it doesn't seem like Ramsey wants to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Now, think about it. He's ready to have a kid.
Well, he's not showing up to practice. That's the thing.
But think about this. He's actually sick. He's actually sick. Then
I
actually
saw that
showed up,
report.
and then he showed up to the facilities today, actually. Showed up to the facilities today, did some rehabbing and all that for his back. And then he's ready to have his second child.
Yeah.
And I feel like if the Jaguars let him do all that, I feel like he the Jaguars earned his respect. You know, like they're like, you know what, you won't let
Then
me.
why is he in this like standoff with them? Why is he like not telling them, never mind, don't trade me, let's get a deal done at the end of the year?
But is it like we don't know? Like he's just been going for so much. I mean, think about that. Like you're ready to have a kid. You have a back injury right now, and then you are sick as well. You have the flu. Like that's a lot happening right now. I mean, I think the last thing he's worrying about is his money because he knows he's going to get paid no matter what, and that can wait. So, do I think Ramsey's going to get traded now? I don't think so. I think Ramsey's going to stay put in Jacksonville.
Wow,
I really think
bold take.
Just because of how Doug Marrone is handling everything with Jalen, and it seems like their relationship is getting somewhat better with this. I mean, I could be definitely wrong. He could be traded next week. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I get what you're saying though. It does make sense that like they're doing all this for Jalen Ramsey, and the owner even came out and said, "We love Jalen Ramsey, and why would we make our team worse?" They obviously think that they have a shot to win the division. Why shouldn't they? Gardner Minshew might be better than Nick Foles. So I know we got off topic from the Ravens, and we'll get to the Jaguars later, but I get what you're saying. I don't think that they should trade Ramsey just yet. If he wants to win, though, I think he needs to get out of there. But let's go on to the Chiefs. Dude, Pat Mahomes, I gotta give Pat Mahomes his credit, man. He is the most talented quarterback, and this might be my bold take. He is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. That's more than Aaron Rodgers, more than whoever you want to name. From my time, 20 years.
20 years.
20 years, which in the big window. But I've seen Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, like Big Ben. He is definitely the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. What do you take away from Pat? Do you think that this team can win the Super Bowl? I mean, let's just forget the regular season at this point. They're going to be a 1-2 seed. I mean, can they win the Super Bowl?
I don't know about winning the Super Bowl yet. The defense still needs to get better. But, I mean, you still have a very, very, very talented team that's in Massachusetts right now that is probably going to get their 7th ring. They're going to get their 7th ring.
If they get, I'm going on record. If they get their 7th ring, I will buy a Tom Brady jersey and wear it on our podcast at least once a month when we do our podcast for the next year. If they win the Super Bowl this year.
Wow.
I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl this year. But
I think they are. Their team's too talented. Like, I mean, and I feel like Kansas City's defense isn't up to par to be a Super Bowl team.
So is Pat Mahomes the most talented quarterback you've ever seen in your lifetime?
Yeah.
And do you think he has potential to be the best ever? I know it's early, but good.
I mean,
gracious.
he has potential. Everybody has potential.
Okay.
I mean, that's just the same thing they're talking about. JaMarcus Russell might be the best quarterback ever, but I mean, he obviously didn't pan out.
All right, so Nate Peterman, could he be the best ever? Real conversation. If
I think
everybody has a chance.
everybody has a. I mean, I'm just saying everybody
But
has
this is
potential when they
different than
come
what
out.
we've seen before. Like I was watching Colin Coward, and he's right. He was like, um, the red zone's usually from the 20. In the books, it's from the 20 to the end zone. That is the red zone. For Kansas City, it's from midfield to the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean, this offense, and he doesn't even have Tyreek Hill or his best running back in Williams.
Yep.
I mean, Travis
He make,
Kelce.
I mean, he makes the offense so much better, and I agree. I think he probably is one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen. But I mean, you can't deny Brady's greatness either, though. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I mean,
but I feel like
Brady's the best
Brady.
ever.
Yeah, I feel like Brady and Mahomes are like right there next to each other. And this is only Mahomes'
Well, one thing,
20th game.
yeah, I
Think
think
about
it's
that.
his 20. Yeah,
20th game.
and we're already
And
talking about if he's the most talented quarterback we've ever
quarterback.
seen.
I think he's definitely the most talented quarterback in the league right now.
Oh,
Like we're
it's not
saying, like
even
right
close at this
now,
point.
yeah, exactly. It's just I don't know. It's just like I hope he doesn't get injured. That's the only thing that scares me.
Yeah. So I was talking about with our friend Max today, and he was kind of right on this. The Chiefs need to make sure they get Mahomes a defense. This defense isn't bad. They're an underrated defense. They're honestly got some
Yeah.
good defensive backs. Pass rush is good. But they need to get him a top 10 defense. What they did with Aaron Rodgers after they got that first ring, no top 10 defenses. Do you expect Kansas City to, if they don't win this year, go all in on defense next year and just start paying guys, kind of like Green Bay did this year?
Yeah, oh, definitely. They're going to first round pick is going to be. Oh no, do they have a first round pick this year? Yeah,
Kansas City, yeah, they have a first round.
yeah. Because they have who do they have now? No, Frank Clark, right?
Frank Clark. Yeah, but that was a second and a fifth,
Second and fifth. Okay,
something like
their
that.
first round pick's going to be defense.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to probably go out for big free agency. I don't even know who's going to be out in free agency. I haven't really been looking. Yeah, let's see. Let's see
the defense free agents 2020. Holy crap,
Yeah.
it's 2020 next year. That's crazy. So next year, now granted, some of these guys can be, let's just go defense. Some of these guys can be franchise tagged, obviously, or they might re-sign. Here's some. Vaughn Miller. He's a free agent next year. Jadeveon Clowney. I think he's going to stay in Seattle. Everson Griffin. Marcel Darius. Chris Harris. Dante Fowler Jr. Jimmy Smith. Logan Ryan. Devin McCourty. Aqib Talib. Nick Dominican Sue. Ansa. I mean, this is a good. Gerald McCoy's a free agent. Robert Quinn, Ronald Darby, Burnt Toast, DJ Swearinger. I mean, Michael Kendricks, Shaquille Barrett. I mean, Vic Beasley. I could go on and on.
Calvin Lloyd.
Yeah. So it looks like next year might be the year. If Kansas City, I think they win this year. But if Kansas City doesn't next year, I expect a lot of money to be thrown at guys like Marcel Darius or Chris Harris Jr. I mean, they have to, or else they're never going to win a ring with Pat Mahomes, and he's going to turn out like Aaron Rodgers. Wouldn't you say the same?
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be targeting Clowney though.
Wow, Clowney.
I feel like Seattle probably can't lock up Clowney.
I think they're going to. Wait, didn't he sign a contract or no? No, he didn't. He signed his franchise tag.
He signed his franchise tag. Yes, he did. He can be He can go wherever he wants next year.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
So another team that's made a trade is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We got a tight end.
Yeah, they got a tight end.
Whatever.
I really have to search up his name because
it's Nick Barnett. Nick Barnett.
Yeah. Nick Vanette. I've never even heard that guy.
I know who he is. He's solid, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Pittsburgh's still going to suck.
Here's the interesting thing. They know they're going to suck. They're 0-3. They have a literal. Once you're 0-3, you have a 12%. Only 12 teams since the Super Bowl era have gone 0-3 and made the playoffs. What is Pittsburgh doing right now? Like they traded their first round pick and now their fifth round pick. Is this smart? Maybe they're setting up for Mason Rudolph. Like what is going on?
Oh, I'm guessing. I don't know. I can't give you a good answer. I
Just
I'm
I don't know what you're doing. Like
I don't like I'm guessing they're preparing for next year with Big Ben. I really don't know, but I mean, if they're gonna make any moves, make moves for younger players. Make I mean, like Fitzpatrick. Okay, that's respectable.
I
I don't
like
mind
that.
him giving up.
But
I
first
don't
round
mind.
pick was too much. They're going to be a top 10 pick, which is kind of
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
that's true.
He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
top 10 pick worthy, but
No, but also, I mean, why don't you trade for some young wide receivers? Why don't you trade for like
Hollywood Brown.
some younger quarterback? Why don't you try to get Jalen Ramsey? Get Jalen Ramsey too while you're at it. Do something. Do
There's
something
no
that'll
way they
make.
can get Jalen now. They don't even have first round pick next year. By the way,
Oh,
the
definitely.
Hollywood comment was a joke, but yeah.
I mean, get somebody get somebody young. Like I don't know, man. Like it's just
Well,
the Browns
what do
will.
you think? Is Pittsburgh going downhill? Like, do you think this might be
Yes, yes. The
like
Browns. I mean, yeah. The Steelers are definitely going downhill. They're definitely going downhill. They are freaking out that Big Ben's not playing. So they're trying to
and
do
they're just
everything.
like, oh, they're like panic button. Oh my God, help, 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 help.
Help,
Let's
yeah,
trade for
like
this guy. Let's just
yeah.
get rid of our whole future because we're idiots and never had this situation with no Big Ben for a whole year and we're not used to not winning. Oh my God. First of
Yep.
all, what have I said since day one about Mike Tomlin? What have I
I
said?
mean, you said that he's overrated, and
And he
I
still
agree
is.
with you.
Yeah,
I
you've
agree
agreed
with
with
you.
me. And I
Yes.
think he's gone. They need to just reset. But the thing is, this new head coach isn't going to have a first round pick next year. The GM's not going to have a first round pick next year. They're not going to have their fifth round pick. It's not a job. You're going in with Mason Rudolph. You don't know what you're getting. I wouldn't take that job. They don't have any talent on offense. James Conner isn't a number one running back, like we've said. Juju Smith-Schuster could be a number one. He's on the edge, though. It's
Mhm.
weird. I don't think he's a number one wideout. So I guess I can't figure out what they're doing, but it looks like it's going to be Cleveland and Baltimore for the next couple of years in the AFC North. Um, and a rookie quarterback that you might be a fan of, Daniel Jones.
What?
Um, so let's
What?
talk about it for a second, and we'll get into hot
What?
takes later for everybody listening. I know you guys are. We got a lot of those correct this week, by the way,
It
including
was actually,
myself.
it was actually kind of
It was
scary.
weird. It was weird. We're going to do
Yeah.
a giveaway soon. Um, we're
Shit. What
going.
we gonna give away?
Frac, I've got good. You know what? You want me to announce it right now?
Oh, I mean, you have something?
I do.
Ooh.
Ooh, let's wait till the end of
What?
the episode,
So
and I
you
will
can think
make
of
sure.
something that I can put my
No,
money
no, no.
into?
No, I really have an idea.
Okay.
Anyway, Daniel Jones, 23 of 36, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, and well, a combined 4 touchdowns. He had two
Touchdowns. Yep.
touchdowns rushing. This kid deserves it. And we sat here and just like every other talk network or little podcast, they all said, I don't care who you are, they all said Daniel Jones was picked way too high,
Yeah.
and including us. And I feel good for the kid. I'm really happy that he went out and was like, this is who I am. But this Giants offense is way better with Daniel Jones. Do you like what you saw out of him? And do you think that Eli's tenure in New York is done?
I mean, did I look as an Eagles fan? No, not at all. But as like a football as someone looking on the outside, yeah, I think it's good that Daniel Jones proved himself. He was getting booed at. He's just like Kristaps Porzingis. I mean,
New
it's
York
just
should
kind of
just boo all of their first round picks
for
because they all
real.
turn out
Just
great.
keep. I mean, Barkley didn't get booed, but I mean,
Well, he got a lot of slander too because they were like, "Oh, you should have taken Sam Darnold. What are you doing? This is
oh
stupid." He
yeah,
did get a lot of
true.
slander for that too.
True. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the kid. I mean, he looked good. Tim Baker definitely won that game, though.
Yeah, they
Taylor
should have
Baker
won that game.
definitely won that game. Jameson Winston had a very good game. I told you he was, too.
Jameis
But
Winston has been great this year.
exactly, I guess you said that. Me,
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
smart.
You did.
I'm
Congrats.
smart. Thank you.
Um,
But
yeah,
no, I think it's a good thing, and yeah, definitely Eli's time's done. I mean, why wouldn't you think so?
yeah.
I mean, you have a good young quarterback, your first round pick playing really well. Eli's done, baby. He's done.
What I really like out Daniel Jones is he looks like he looks like a young Eli Manning. That's exactly what he looks like. I watched the entire game. Young Eli Manning is all I saw, but can move better. I mean, this kid has great feet, and he's just a prototypical good quarterback in the making.
Quarterback.
I don't think he'll be great. I think he's going to be up and down. He looks like that
Yeah,
kind of quarterback, but he's going to be good for the Giants. I like.
but like what? Yeah, when he's on, he's on.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have high. If he beats Tom Brady twice, we're happy. That's all that matters because he'll probably still be around Tom Brady in the next 5 years. So, I think it's great for the Giants that they finally got their quarterback. Now they can build around it. Dave Gettleman doesn't look like a complete idiot, and for once. And we'll see what this kid's got. I don't think we should hit the button where he's going to be great yet, but I saw some good things and I saw some qualities that I've seen in quarterbacks that turn out good. I haven't seen qualities that make him great just yet, but he could be. I'm not sure. But do you think that the Giants maybe go all in next year with this kid, or is it going to take a couple years? Because I'm scared that they're not going to help him out.
And you should be scared because the Giants won't.
Yeah.
Gelman might look good with this pick, guys, but that doesn't still matter. The fact is that he's a terrible GM. Like,
I see. It's so weird with him. He went to a Super Bowl with the Panthers, but the roster wasn't good. Their number one wideout was Ted Ginn. It's like he's gotten lucky. Like he's kind of
yes, he
lucky.
has gotten very lucky. I mean, and let's say this: Cam Newton wasn't that his second or third year in the league?
But yeah, he came in after Cam was picked. I believe. I don't think he took Cam Newton, did he?
I don't think so.
He might have taken Cam Newton.
I
What?
don't know.
But go ahead.
But no, I just think that like that Gelman's not going to give him help. I mean, I feel like now he's going up in the first round this year. He's going to pick a defense. Like he's going to pick defense, which would be the stupidest thing ever, but he will.
Mm.
Even though you have probably one of the best wide receivers that might come into the league with Judy out of Alabama, he is looking like a dog. And
Dude, I love Judy.
He's going to be a dog. Let me tell you, he's going to be a monster.
Yeah.
A monster.
You just know with some kids, and that's him. Like he's a number one.
Yeah, and then we have a wide receiver out of Colorado that has the size, the speed, the catching ability. People are already saying that he might be better than Julio Jones.
He's
Julio Jones, but better. And they're still going to pick defense. They're going to pick a defensive lineman. So,
I don't think they go defense. I think they help this kid.
See, but what can we expect out of Gelman? We can't expect anything.
Well, it depends what I think if they have a top 10 pick, I think they go wide out. They need it bad.
Exactly. And the wideout class is very good this year, actually.
Yeah.
It's shaping up to be a good class.
Yeah, I think they need offensive line and wide out and then focus on the defense after. A lot of people nowadays, you can see it with the Rams. They went out free agency and got defense. The Ravens have kept their guys, but they went out and got a couple pieces. The Browns did it with Demarius Randall and those Olivier Vernon and drafted guys. So you have to have a mixture, but at first you got to set up your offense because that in this league, that's the most important thing. And I hope that they do that with Daniel Jones because this kid could be something special. A lot of young quarterbacks in this league. I think it was 19 quarterbacks that played this weekend that was under 26 or under, which is insane. And I love the direction that the NFL is going. It's not Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Big Ben every single year. It is now new. We're going to see a lot of new teams be on the come up.
I'm so excited. I think this is the time that we get to
this will be our first time, like me and you, seeing the NFL change, like completely seeing new players. Like we grew up on Peyton Manning and all them, but this is the first time we just see them all go out and a new class come in, which is awesome to see.
It's awesome, but it's scary. Like, we're getting old.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're getting old. It's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad.
We're getting old.
So Kyle Allen, another interesting one. He went 19 of 26,
And
261 and 4
how many
touchdowns.
people predicted him? I think Luke Schultz did.
Luke
I think
Schultz, Max did. Yeah, those two
like
did.
everybody was like, "Oh, Kyle Allen." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about those in a minute. But great game, 4 touchdowns, 261, 19 of 26. He threw over 70% completion.
Proved us wrong.
Yeah, proved us wrong. So Cam, so now his injury is more than what we think. It's a certain foot injury. I don't even know what it is, but could require surgery. They're trying to hold it off, is what I read, to hopefully get him back in a couple weeks. I think this is what the Panthers planned on doing. It's a great way to shift from your franchise quarterback and be like, "Oh, you're hurt, Cam. Let's just sit back." Because now they're like, they can make the excuse that Cam's hurt and that they can let this kid play. If he's not good, all right, Cam, let's get you back in here. And if not, they're like, all right, Cam, just keep sitting out. We'll wait for you. Do you think this? I mean, they drafted Will Grier. Is this kid maybe going to take Cam's job? What's it going to take for him to win Cam's job?
Oh my God! See, that was awesome that Kyle Allen had a good game. But let me bring up this player that I brought up last week, Fitzpatrick. People get so freaking excited over him, and it doesn't make any sense. And I feel like we have some of these young quarterbacks, that are the same exact deal. They're going to have a couple good games, and everybody like, "Oh my God!"
But from what you've seen, though, can this kid maybe not be the couple games kind of guy? He could be a good quarterback because he looked good.
I need to see 4 straight games out of him that has him throwing over 400 yards. If he's going to take Cam.
For how much?
300.
Well, he didn't even throw 3. I think he just needs to win. Honestly,
it doesn't mean anything. You want a game manager as your quarterback, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. You need an elite quarterback as quarterback.
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, do you want to win or do you want to see a quarterback blow up? Because with Cam Newton, you can see him have amazing games.
You're right.
So I think.
But you can also see him have really bad games that are like, this guy is not even top 15. So I don't think Cam's a quarterback that can win the Super Bowl. He's been the one. I don't think he's a quarterback, especially at his age.
You think Kyle Allen?
I have no clue, man. That was just what I was about to say. I like your point about Fitzpatrick. All these young quarterbacks were getting hype over. The thing is, this is what's great about us doing this. We get to predict, and from what we've seen, do we think this kid's going to be good? Kyle Allen, like you said, I think he's a game manager. I don't think he's going to be a great quarterback. I think he's going to be good enough this year to win them some games and to take Cam's job. But in all reality, I think they want that kid Will Grier to come in and play. And I think Will Grier is going to get his chance, especially if they move on from Kyle Allen this year and then Kyle Allen doesn't turn out well next year. I like what they're doing. I think it is time for Carolina to move on from Cam, and I think it's time for them to reset, go after offensive line, build around this Kyle Allen kid. So once you build around him, you can plug in any quarterback and then finally get the quarterback that you want to plug in there. Is that kind of how you're feeling, or are you feeling like they're going to stick with Cam?
They're going to stick with Cam.
So they play Houston this weekend. If he plays well, I really think that might solidify it. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. So he won the game. They beat the Arizona Cardinals 38-20. Kyler Murray did not look that well. We're not going to talk about Kyler Murray, but he was 30 of 43 for 173, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. I didn't like what I saw out of him very much, but I think he's going to be okay. All right, man. It's time to talk, and I've been waiting this whole time. Baker Mayfield. He was awful the other night. He's been awful all year. He has been the Browns who were they thought they were.
I knew that they were going to be like this.
This is bad. This is not good.
I told you. What did I tell everybody? Oh, they're going to be 8-8. Oh, my God, you're an idiot. Man, whatever. You're one of those. I mean, that's the thing. I like to prove people wrong, and Baker Mayfield is helping my case because I feel like this team is still too young, way too young to be, and they just don't have enough experience.
Well, there's a lot
that's
more.
just
I think there's a lot more
chemistry.
issues.
Chemistry's a problem as well.
The offensive line is bad. The
It's
defensive
terrible.
backs are hurt. Like, everything's just not. Freddie Kitchens was a terrible hiring. I'll talk about that in a second because I want to just go off on the Freddie Kitchens hiring because that was god awful. I never understood that. But Baker, let's just talk about Baker. And simply the question is he overrated? This kid has played 19 games so far, and he has, I believe, around 15 to 16 interceptions. And this year he has 3 touchdowns, 5 picks. Not good for your number one quarterback taken in last year's draft. Is he overrated, Frac?
I mean, it's just a matter of fact how you feel. I mean, how can you call a quarterback like overrated? That was the number one pick, 19 games in. I mean, was he the best pick of number one? I personally still don't think so.
Who do you think should have won number one then?
Barkley. No.
So you think they shouldn't have gone quarterback?
No, I feel like they could have got a quarterback later.
Well, they had the 4th pick too.
Or they could have gone with Josh. Yeah, exactly. They still had the 4th pick. So they could have got Baker again. They could. I would not see. Jets
I don't think Baker was falling. I don't know.
I think he would, because I don't see the Giants picking Baker. I don't see the Jets.
Well, you don't see
Baker.
them taking Baker if the Cleveland takes Saquon number one. I think they do take Baker, or they take Darnold. So if they take Darnold, I think the Jets take Baker.
Or they pick Josh Allen.
I like Josh Allen coming out. I say he was the number one quarterback in the draft.
I thought so too. I thought he was going to be really good, even with the.
He's not bad. Good quarterback. I think he's going to be something special. But so you don't think he's overrated?
I mean, you can't really. I mean, there's a ton of players that did not do good in their first couple of years. I mean, Tony Gonzalez is a perfect example.
Dropping the ball. Awful his first 2 years.
Exactly. Then he turned it on. You just don't give up hope on this kid. I feel like the bad thing, and this is with social media, technology, everything. Everybody has a quicker hand to make reactions, to say stuff. It's like people are like, oh, we want it now.
And people want.
We want to win.
They want, people on social media, they're waiting. Like, they're waiting for Lamar. They're waiting for Baker. They're waiting for Daniel Jones, all these guys to fail so they can just go on their phones and be like, oh, this kid stinks. Like, stop, man. He's played 19 games. He's still young. Let's watch these kids develop first. Then you can talk crap about them all you want at that point. But Baker is not overrated. And I've said that. I'm going to defend Baker here. The front office is the problem with the Browns.
Dorsey.
Right now. Yeah, everybody can talk all they want about Dorsey, how great he is, what he's done. Okay, so he hires Freddie Kitchens as his head coach. I think they should have kept Greg. I hate Greg Williams. I hate him more than any other coach him and Sean Payton. I don't like either of them because of what they did back in whenever with the whatever the heck it was called. I forget. What was that called? Bounty Gate, right? Bounty Gate.
I think it wasn't a gate. I think it was just called the Bounty Hunter scandal.
Bounty Gate.
I think you just sound okay.
All right. Friendly bet. I'm going with Bounty Gate.
Bounty Gate does not even sound cool.
Bounty Gate. Yep.
No, it's not.
Bounties. Wait. Yeah, Sean Payton on Bounty Gate. Yeah, right here. Bounty Gate. The Bounty Gate game. New Orleans versus Minnesota.
So stupid.
They put gate over everything.
Exactly.
But why would you hire Freddie Kitchens? This guy before last year was a quarterback's coach. You know, Baker has had 3 head coaches in the past 19 games. Like, that's great. He went from Hugh Jackson to Greg Williams, who won them games last year, and Freddie Kitchens was good as the offensive coordinator. But it might be a little bit of Baker's fault because Baker probably went to John Dorsey. Oh, me and Freddie Kitchens have a great connection. He let me do what I want. He'd be a great head coach. The problem with that is that now Freddie Kitchens can't just handle the offense and call plays. Now he has to handle the defense. Now he has to handle everything else. He has everything going on in his mind while calling plays. A lot of head coaches don't even like to call plays. And he's doing it, and it's just not working out. I think the problem is that, and I'm going to defend Baker. He's going to go through another head coach after this year. He's going to be on his fourth in less than 2 years, and that's just sad to see. I think they have the talent, but John Dorsey needs to get offensive line. And he needs to get some defense because they have no safeties. Demarius Randall is not good. Morgan Burnett is not good. So let's stop saying that they're fine. They're good enough. They're not good enough. They have a lot of issues. So the Browns, so what do you do from here? What do you think they should do? I said what they should do. I think they need a new head coach. What do they need to do to change this? Because I don't think this year's the year at all.
I don't think so. I mean, I already told you how I feel. I feel like I don't need to repeat this every time we talk about the Browns. But the Browns are 18 and 9-7. They're not going to make the playoffs.
What do they do? What's their issues? Like, what would you fix?
Offensive line, I would definitely go offensive line in the first round next year. Secondary is just hurt. You need to get better with that. I would try to sign some offensive line in free agency. I'll do whatever I need to take to get this offensive line better. Because I feel like that's the missing piece is the offensive line. When you have Greg Robinson as your best lineman, I would just call Joe Thomas' old self to come back into the field and play. Like, I mean, it's bad. There's a bad situation in Cleveland, you know?
Yeah, so Cleveland has a hard test next week and the next 3 weeks. Let's talk about the matchups for next week, and then we'll get into hot takes. So the first one I want to talk about is the Browns and Ravens because this is for the AFC North lead. Who do you have in this game? It's in Baltimore, and why?
Baltimore.
Okay, why?
Baltimore because they're the better team.
Wow.
The only thing I'm kind of worried about is secondary play. Obviously, that offensive line can be as bad as it wants. Baker has some legs on him, and he can get out of the pocket. And you still have OBJ and Juice out there running around like it's something. So that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. But I feel like this should be a pretty easy game for the Ravens.
I don't think it's going to be an easy game. The Ravens, even when the Browns were bad, they were still a test for the Ravens, even though it was always close games. One stat I did want to read that I did see today. Let me find it on my phone. Okay. Quickest time to hurry, which means getting to the quarterback. The average time it takes to get to the quarterback. Guess who leads the league?
Say it one more time.
Okay. The quickest team to get to the quarterback. Quickest time to hurry the quarterback. What team do you think of this?
I mean, the answer is obviously the Ravens, but if you're going to bring up that freaking stat. But, I mean, if it was just like no context clues, if this was a random person that asked me, I would probably say, I don't know, maybe the Packers this year, maybe Buccaneers because with Barnett.
Those are good answers, and neither of those are on the list. The top five, it goes so these two teams play each other this weekend, Cleveland and Baltimore. Baltimore Ravens have the number one at 2.54 seconds to hurry the quarterback. That's a big stat. And let's not take any context into it. I think the Ravens have issues on pass rush, but they blitz a ton with Wing Martindale, and that's why they're getting to a quarterback. Pittsburgh's second, which is they have a good defensive line. Then it's Cleveland.
Pittsburgh?
It goes Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Dallas. So the three AFC North teams.
Is the fastest team to get to the ball?
To hurry the quarterback, yeah. So to basically cause a hurry. So I think that's a big factor in this game. The Ravens blitz a lot. They bring a lot of pressure. And with the Cleveland offensive line, it's going to be tough. And I get that our DBs are hurt, but their offensive line's so bad that we're going to get to a quarterback quick enough to cause mistakes from Baker like it's been happening the past couple of weeks. So I'm not big on taking Baltimore, but they're at home. And they just have a better team. They have a better offense right now, and they have a better defense right now. So I'm taking Baltimore. I think they're the overall better team. And just because they're at home, I think they'll split this year. But, yeah, I'm taking Baltimore, and they take a 2-game lead over the Cleveland Browns. So let's go Thursday night. Let's go to your team. Eagles-Packers.
Packers.
Wow. Wow. So the Eagles fall to 1-3.
I think so. I mean, it, I don't know. It's just going to be a rough game. I'm not ready to watch it tomorrow night. I'm off, so I'm definitely going to catch it. It's going to be rough. It's going to be really rough. I'm probably going to be stop watching it after the first half. It's just, I don't know. It's going to be rough. But, I mean, if we win, I'll be happy. Like, I'll be happy to get on. I mean, I'll be really happy if we win this game.
I think the Eagles have to win, but I'm not picking them to win.
Yeah.
The Packers, they have a better defense right now just because of injuries in their offense. The only thing that might help the Eagles is that the Packers' offense hasn't been very great, but their defense has been great. But I think the Packers being at home, they'll turn it on a little bit more. And if the Eagles weren't hurt, I would take the Eagles in this. I'm taking the Packers. And I think the Eagles fall to 1-3, and they're going to be in the steep hole in the NFC East. Redskins, Giants. This one's kind of interesting, actually. Dwayne Haskins might play. Case Keenum's hurt. Who are you taking? You taking Daniel Jones?
I don't know. If Washington's defense showed up like it did against us the first half, and then you played the whole game, Washington could definitely win the game. And I feel like the Giants do not have a strong offensive line as the Eagles do. So I won't go out on a rip. It's going to be a close game. It's going. But I'm going to pick Washington in this one. I really think Washington will have a solid game. I think Haskins is going. If Haskins does play, he's going to play well. So I just think they're going to get to Daniel Jones more than Dwayne Haskins is going to get, by New York's defense. So
I had your same thinking, like right before this. I was like, the Redskins have a good defense. But then I saw them play Mitchell Trubisky, and he had 3 touchdowns against them.
yeah,
I'm going to say Daniel Jones gets his second win. I don't think the Redskins defense, Josh Norman has been dog crap all year. And I think their defense can be good, really good, and it can be really bad. And I'm going to say it's really bad. They're away. I'm going to take the home team, and I'm going to take the young gunslinger Daniel Jones. Giants win. Chiefs Lions. This one's actually more interesting than what we thought probably prior to the season, and it's in Detroit. Chiefs Lions, a good defense versus a good offense.
Chiefs. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, actually. I mean, I don't know if you can really have like an upset per se or anything like that. I think it's going to be the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs too. I think their offense is so good. It doesn't matter what defense is on the field, except for maybe the Patriots. I say the Chiefs win pretty big. I say they win by 10 or more points. I think this Lions team is going to come back to earth after this week. This one's a good game too. A lot of good games this week. Titans Falcons.
I'll go with Seattle.
What? Titans Falcons. Oh my God! So I'm guessing Seattle's going to fly in for this game. 3 teams just going at it. How do you even score? I mean, 2 teams are playing defense against 1 offense, or 2 offenses are playing against 1 defense. How does this work?
I'm so sorry. My bad, man.
Titans, Tennessee, or Atlanta?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Okay, they're in Atlanta. You're still taking Tennessee?
Yeah, I like Tennessee's chances.
Okay. I'm going to take the Falcons. I think that their defense hurt a little from losing Keanu. But I think that they are good enough on offense. Tennessee's defense has been up and down. They've been shaky ever since week 1. They kind of just showed up for week 1 and gave up. I think Tennessee's not that good of a team, and I think Atlanta needs to win to keep pace with the Saints, especially since they don't have Drew Brees. And they're at home. I'll take Atlanta. Raiders Colts. This is at Indianapolis. A good game again. Colts. Okay. Any reason or just Colts or
Colts? Just Colts.
Yeah. No, I'll go with you. I'm going Colts. I think defense is better.
Yeah.
This one, you know what? I'll save it. Patriots Bills. This is at the Bills.
I think this is going to be the biggest upset of the whole season.
I'm taking it too. I'm taking it too.
I feel like the Bills are going to win this game. They're on the hot streak. Josh Allen's looking amazing right now. I mean, I feel like this is going to be a shutout game for Josh Allen. I feel like they're going to win this game.
I'm taking the Bills. I think this is going to be the biggest upset of the year. Like Frac said, they're in Buffalo. I love Bills Mafia, and I'm friends with two Bills fans, so I want to give them their credit. They're 3-0. I don't care who they play. They got the best, possibly the best defense in the league, and a good offense with Josh Allen, and he's got weapons. Cole Beasley, John Brown. And is Devin Singletary playing? It doesn't matter. They got Frank Gore. They got Frank the Tank. I'm taking the Bills in an upset. I don't think the Patriots go 16-0. They're going to be slack. Tom Brady is 30-2 against the Bills. He goes 30-3 this weekend. I love it.
I mean, someone has to beat the Patriots, right?
And I feel like it's got to be a division rival. And the Bills, that would be incredible for their fan base.
That'd be awesome. I would love it. I would love it.
It probably, in reality, we're probably going to see Tom Brady drop 4 touchdowns, and we're going to call it.
But you never know.
Yeah. Interesting. Kyle Allen for the Panthers against Houston Texans in that Watson-led offense.
Houston. Houston. I think Watson's going to he's going to have a hell of a game. I mean, I think this is going to be D-Hop. Takes it comes in the midseason form, hopefully. So
okay. I'm going upset. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers. I don't think the Houston Texans defense is as good as Carolina's. I think Carolina has a great front seven. They just haven't gotten it all together yet, but they're going to get it all together against this bad offensive line. They're going to get to Watson, and they're going to get great field position for Kyle Allen. I'm taking the Panthers, and I say Kyle Allen solidifies his job as the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Okay. Do we even need to go over this game? Chargers, Dolphins. Oh. So how much do the Dolphins lose by? We're just going to do this every week. How much?
Can we do let's do we're going to do 29.
29. They're going to lose by 29. Okay. Yeah. I say Chargers win by 18. Chargers win by 18 points.
Wow, respectable.
I think that's a good middle. Dolphins are at home. They might get a little spark and score 10 points or something like that.
Whatever. Something like that, boy.
So the Rams' offense hasn't looked good this year, but their defense has been good. They're playing the Buccaneers. They have a good defense. Buccaneers has played decent defense. Jameis Winston hasn't turned the ball over a lot. He looks like he is a good game manager. So Buccaneers are at LA Rams. Who are you taking?
I want to pick a little upset here.
Wow, Bucks.
I really like this Bucks team. I feel like James Winston's going to have a good game. Mike Evans is going to have 2 touchdowns, and he's going to be going against to lead the whole time. I feel like it's going to be a big game for the Buccaneers. I feel like if they can beat the Rams, I think the NFC should be like,
I'm taking the Rams. They just have a better team, and they're 3-0, and it's not been an easy 3-0. They've beaten the Browns, they've beaten Carolina, and they've beaten who is he? The Saints. So I mean, without Drew Brees, but I feel like this is an easier test for the Rams, and I feel like they're just on a roll, and they're going to keep it going, and they're at home. Seattle Cardinals. Now, Seattle got blown out by a Drew Brees-less Saints team last week at home. They're in Arizona against the young Kyler Murray. Who do you like? Now Seattle's on the board, so now that's an actual choice. Yeah.
Make it drop. Probably. I'm not gonna go with upsets all week, but Arizona. I mean, not about Seattle.
Oh my God, you're messing up. I'm taking Seattle too. I feel like they need to bounce back after last week, and they need to keep pace with the Niners and the Rams, who are both 3-0. So I'm taking Seattle. Vikings Bears, a NFC North Division face-off. They are in Chicago.
Chicago against
Minnesota.
Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky has 4 touchdowns.
Oh, 4.
3 of them going to be going to Allen Robinson. No one needs to get in there a hat trick, and it better be Allen Robinson.
Oh, by the way, let's talk about it. You're 0-3 in our league, Frac. You're really bad. You won our league last year.
I know. It's been a rough season. I mean, I've also been out without Tyreek Hill. But, I mean, God will grace me.
You won last year. You need someone else to pass off the trophy too. But I am
Kind
taking
of,
Chicago
yeah.
as well. They're at home. They're a way better team at home. Mitchell Trubisky is starting to get on the roll after last week. I say he takes that confidence against this Minnesota. I say it's a really close game though, like a 15 to 16 to 10 game. Not a lot of points are going to be scored. Jaguars Broncos.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I love Minshew so much. That's my guy. Yeah, Gardner Minshew is going to be the man. I love him. Like, he is my favorite quarterback ever.
He's
Like,
a legend.
he's a
He is a
legend, and
legend.
he's a legend in my heart. He
Yeah.
really is. I love the kid. He's
I'm
going to be
sorry.
good.
I'm sorry. I love Gardner Minshew, but there's not a quarterback I don't love more than Joseph Vincent Flacco. I am taking Joe Flacco and the Denver
Ah,
Broncos.
Jesus, here we
They're
go.
at home. They haven't gotten a lot of sacks this year. They only have 3 this year. I think it's really small, like 1 to 3 sacks. And Von Miller and company, Chubb, are going to eat. And I think that Flacco will have good field position, and Gardner Minshew is going to come back down to earth, and he's not God that we keep thinking he is. Cowboys at Saints. This one is Sunday Night Football.
What?
Cowboys Saints.
Why did you sing?
Sunday Night Football.
That
I
was
love
terrible. That was terrible.
Okay.
Please never do that again. I
Okay.
swear to God, if you do it again, I don't know what I will do.
Oh wow!
I'll get.
I
I'll
want
get
to
that.
find out.
Yeah, boy. Bridgewater's going to show us that he's the quarterback that we know he could be. He's going to pay all the upset.
Biased.
No, I'm not biased. I would pick the Saints against anybody this week.
Oh wow!
Yep, against anybody. I feel like this is going to be a big game for Bridgewater. I mean, it's going to be a shootout. The Cowboys are still going to do well, but I feel like Bridgewater is going to do good as well. It's going to be a very high-scoring game. A very high-scoring game.
I'll take the opposite. I'm taking Dallas I think they win by 10 plus. I think Dallas's defense is really going to show up against Teddy Bridgewater. Seattle's defense is kind of sketchy. And I think Dallas is the best team. Them and Green Bay are the top 2 teams in the NFC, I believe. So, taking Cowboys. And then Monday night, the snooze fest. Another bad game. We're seeing a Mason Rudolph versus Andy Dalton game. Steelers and Cincinnati. It's just really bad at this point. Monday Night Football sucks.
Can I pick a tie?
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
Okay, I'm going to pick a tie. This is going to be the second tie of the year.
You know what? If you get the tie, I will give another gift out to somebody.
What?
And I'll take the gift.
I want somebody to come to me.
Oh, no.
What?
All right, so vote. Hopefully they get the tie. If they do, I will give out another giveaway. So really quick. So you're taking the tie, and I am taking. I'll take Cincinnati. I think Andy Dalton will get a win.
Yeah, if it doesn't end in a tie, it's going to be Cincinnati.
Okay. So now let's do this real quick. We've gone over an hour. But anyway, it's an hour and 2 minutes. So really quick, let's go over our hot takes from last week. Our winners. Are you ready? Max Vukovic is one of our winners. We had a lot of winners on hot take. Max Vukovic tweeted to us saying, Kyle Allen throws for 3 touchdowns and wins in Arizona. That is a W. He did threw 4 touchdowns, and he got the win. So great pick by Max Vukovic. Great job right there. Our second winner, the same thing that happened to me. I was a winner too. I picked Daniel Jones for 250 and 2 touchdowns and win. He did that, so I'm a winner. Kobe Rourke is our second winner. He said Daniel Jones would throw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Giants get the first win of the year and ends Eli's time in the Big Apple. That last part, I think we can say is correct. Kobe wins that. Our third and final winner, Luke Schultz, another Kyle Allen pick. Kyle Allen, this one's weird though. Kyle Allen will complete 70% or more of his passes and the Panthers will win. He completed 71.2 and the Panthers won. Great pick by Luke Schultz. And then let's go over the other ones just for shouts out. Caleb Ruark almost had this one correct. If it was a close score, he almost got the score right. Ravens edge Chiefs 33-30 with a game-winning field goal. It almost came down to that. So that wasn't a bad pick. Good pick. Benny Dakwe. I think that's how you say his name. Sorry if I messed up your name. One of my good friends on Twitter. It's one of my Twit friends, or however you call them. Lions, wait. I don't think this is a winner because he didn't predict the score right. But he said Lions go into Philly and Stafford outguns Wentz. Lions 33, Eagles 23. I would give that to you if you didn't put the score. So sorry about that. Lindsay OK, one of our good friends, the verified Twitter queen.
Friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast, who is a Matt Ryan hater. And we love Lindsay. And she said Rosen, this is really hot. Rosen beats the Cowboys. Yeah, that Rosen had a good game. But
yeah, he did until he got knocked out.
Jimmy Schultz, the Steelers beat the 49ers, and Rudolph passes for 300. Neither of those things happened. Peyton, Jacoby Brissett goes for 350-plus yards, passing for 4 touchdowns, but the Colts lose in a shootout. Colts won, and Jacoby Brissett had a really good game, but he said that the Colts would lose, so that's not a – he was really close there. Joel Roberts, Ravens shut out Mahomes. Passing game, Ravens win 24-7. That wasn't even close. That was a really bad take. Dane, I don't know who this guy is, but he said Jets go into Foxborough and win. No, the Patriots covered their 22-point.
What in the world?
And then our last one, Brian Thomas. Lamar Jackson passes for 250-plus yards and rushes for 200. That's 450 yards combined. 2 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing. That is 5 touchdowns combined. He didn't even come close to that. He only had 1 rushing touchdown, no passing. Only had 270 yards. So that was our hot takes of the week. Now, here's what we're going to do. Giveaways for next week. I will be giving away a $60 PlayStation or Xbox gift card to whoever gets the hot take segment correct next week. Frac, you don't have to put in any money. Don't worry.
I know, but what happened if okay, let's think about this.
Okay.
How many people hit on it this week?
Yeah. Of course.
You would hit have to spend
hold
$240.
Hold on. If they tie.
They split it?
No. What should we do if they tie? I haven't thought about that.
If they
the hotter take. Let's just go with the hotter take.
No, because that's opinionated. That's opinionated right there. I mean, I think whoever ties, we split. So you better do your unique one. You better have something that no one else will pick.
Yeah, you can't have 2 Kyle Allen picks or
exactly.
So you better comment quick. Is what we're saying.
You better comment quick.
I'll make
with
sure
your
to
hot
put that in our posts. Yeah, so it will be really hard to match it next week. So they split it, so they each get like $30. I'll just Venmo you if you split. I'm just going to Venmo you whatever money that you're owed. Yeah. More than likely, I'll just Venmo you $60, and then you can use it on whatever you want. That's probably easier. But
it is easier.
So then you can just use it on whatever you want. But we recommend to get the new Madden 20. It's a really good game. No, not an ad, just really good game.
Drugs.
Okay, okay. That's it from Take It to the Bank podcast. Frac, thank you for joining me once again. And we hope you have a great rest of your week. And bless up.
Bless up.
Stepping up to the plate like where the batter at. You talking numbers, hold up where your data at. You making claims, I'ma need some stats for that. Boy, don't get foul cause we ain't playing hack and shack. You said you wanna hear some sports talk. Well, if that's really what you wanna do, then you at the right place. Stick around, get comfortable, and don't you tell me that you ain't. Cause it's Take It to the Bank. All facts, cause that's what it has to be. No caps like the MLB salary.